Welcome to the Chat with Pollis Podcast, where we cut through the noise and dive into real-world stories that actually impact your money, your future, and the global economy. If you're into straight talk, not spin, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop of real news you can actually use. Now, let's get into it. This week, the global economy was hit with a major curveball. Just when inflation started cooling and the post-pandemic recovery showed signs of stabilizing, President Trump reignited the trade war, this time with a plan to impose a 30% tariff on all imports from the European Union and Mexico. And no, this isn't just political theater. This was publicly announced in formal letters to both governments with a clear warning: comply with new U.S. trade terms or pay the price. And the clock is ticking. The tariffs could hit as soon as August 1st. Let's break this down. Over the weekend, Trump's team rolled out this blanket 30% tariff plan targeting the EU and Mexico, two of America's largest trade partners. European industries were already bracing for a possible 10% hike. Tripling that, that's an economic bomb. And this move isn't isolated. Similar threats have been sent to over 20 countries, including Canada, Brazil, and Japan. According to Trump's advisor, Kevin Hassett, these tariffs are real unless the U.S. gets better deals, plain and simple. The global reaction in Brussels, EU leaders are scrambling. Germany, with its export-heavy auto sector, is especially vulnerable. Chancellor Friedrich Merz is already deep in negotiations, trying to shield brands like Mercedes and Volkswagen from a potential disaster. Meanwhile, France's Emmanuel Macron is pushing for a united front, saying Europe must defend its interests resolutely, and they're not bluffing. The EU has prepared a counter-tariff package targeting U.S. exports, things like whiskey, motorcycles, and agriculture. In Mexico, the backlash has been just as sharp. Over 80% of Mexico's exports go to the U.S. A 30% tariff is a massive blow. Mexican officials called it unfair treatment, but are still holding out hope for a negotiated resolution. What this means for you. This isn't just about governments fighting. The economic pain will land on everyday people, starting with your wallet. The Nonpartisan Tax Foundation estimates that if these tariffs go through and countries retaliate, U.S. GDP could fall by nearly 1%. That's a huge hit. And for average Americans, a $1,400 tax hike per household by 2026. Tariffs aren't paid by foreign countries, they're paid by U.S. importers who pass that cost to you. So whether it's German cars, French wine, or Mexican avocados, you'll pay more. But it doesn't stop there. American businesses that rely on foreign parts, steel, chips, textiles, will face higher costs too. That could mean job cuts, price hikes, or both. We're talking about $2.3 trillion worth of U.S. imports on the line. In response, over $330 billion in U.S. exports are already being targeted for retaliatory tariffs. This isn't just a dispute, it's a full-scale economic confrontation. The bigger problem, uncertainty beyond the numbers. There's something deeper at stake: global trust and predictability. For decades, businesses relied on trade agreements and stable rules. Now policy can shift overnight with a tweet or letter. This kind of economic brinkmanship makes it nearly impossible for global companies to plan long-term. And when investment slows, so does growth. Economies fracture, alliances strain, and a misstep in one region can ripple across the globe. For Europe, already facing slow growth, this could be enough to trigger recession. Final thoughts. This week's headline isn't just another trade story, it's a high-stakes gamble that could redefine how nations do business for decades to come. So here's what I want you to think about. Are protective tariffs a smart strategy for national advantage, or are they a risky weapon that backfires, hurting consumers, jobs, and global stability? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your take. Before you go, if you got value from today's episode, give it a like, subscribe to the Chat with Pollis Podcast, and turn on that bell so you're first to know when the next deep dive drops. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Stay sharp, stay informed, and I'll catch you next time on Chat with Pollis.